Welcome back, beloved. I have a very exciting video for you today. We are going to be doing a factory tour of the JK Boot Company from the founder himself, John. We're going to walk through the stations and we're going to learn what makes a good boot. Let's go inside. We're very fortunate to have John here from JK Boots. John, you came from Ukraine. You learned boot making the old way.
Yes.
The proper way.
Yes.
A proper apprenticeship. And also what I'm so excited about is that you have a background in tanning leather.
Yes, I did that too.
We get a lot of questions. There's a lot of mystery and myth about leather and what's the best leather. I'm hoping that you can answer some of these. But before we do that, can we start by actually cutting out a JK boot,
Yes.
the pattern?
Yes,
and,
let's do that.
Show me how to do this.
Okay, the best part, that should be from that, see, that's the neck area. Here is the butt. We call kidney area. This is the best part. This best part, we cut veins. See, some veins. That's not gonna be good for the vein. See, that's the vein.
So
that's a good leather.
Veins will turn into cracks.
Some, yeah.
Can
yeah,
they? Right, yeah. And this is a vein right here.
Yeah, over there.
This is hard to see. I don't know that I would have spotted that. Does it take a long time to learn how to read the leather?
Do you know, I don't think it's a long time, but you need to love what you're doing. Every time, do you know what thing I want to mention it? I love what I'm doing. It's the great selection. I pay the good money of that, and I buy the premium, the best leather I can. Do you see? So nice.
So
Smooth.
nice, yeah.
No scars.
Is there competition between all of the folks that manufacture for the best leather? Are you guys competing, like who gets the very best for their products?
We competing, we try always, see, not the question about the money. We wanted the best product. I paid the good money to have the best product today. Do you know what? And people see that. If people buy the boots and after a couple years they crack, leaking, they complaining. But if you have a good product, the good product sells itself for a long time. The leather, you cannot cut how you want it. You're supposed to follow the structure of the leather. See, that's the vamp. No wrinkles,
Soft.
no overstretching, soft, comfortable, adorable.
Production shops are just stamping. They don't care about orientation, not so much. It's just production.
Or not quality leather, yes.
You guys are, each individual piece matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Precising every. And now see, we cut all the parts from the same height. I don't have a vamps from that height, quarters from another height. I try to keep the same height.
So every piece of the boot comes from the same height.
Yes.
That way you get consistency.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna go to the next station.
For sewing.
Do some sewing.
Okay, so this will be station 205.
Yes.
Is the sewing station. I'm going to bring my boot here so I can
Okay,
have a visual
absolutely,
aid.
absolutely. Also, what's really important here to see in the quarters, that's my mission, that's our name. And do you know what? I care about this. That's very important for me.
And my grandmother was a seamstress. I've always wished I would have taken the time to learn.
Do you know what? My wife is a seamstress, and she teach. I thought a lot from her. I learned a lot from her. You need to be really careful to sew to the edge, not so deep in. Sometimes if I sew, I go a little bit faster, even it's smoking.
I just saw a little smoke come off
Did
of
you
it.
see this?
Yeah, I
And
did.
I was slow, but if I go fast, it's really
So if you're
smoking.
not careful, you can burn it.
You can burn it, yeah. Do you know, Cody, in that business, I learned to do everything. I can fix the machine, I can readjust, take apart, put together. I have a long way, hard way to learn how to do that. Because when you start your own business, somebody think you're gonna make a lot of money and have a free time, but the truth is in the beginning, no money, no time, and you work not by the hours, you work
All the time.
all the time. Piece of leather, now they sew together. Let me show what we're gonna do next. See, it's the shape of our quarters.
Yeah.
You just go and do some ironing.
Well, that's a purpose-built tool, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the old way.
Yeah. And what is this doing other than just
Okay, see
helping
what-
to open it
Now
up?
you can see, you cannot feel that seam, see?
Oh, you can't. Yeah.
This is the thick leather, see outside? The thread is hiding, it's in the back.
So you're not coming in contact with that abrasiveness, just
Yes.
the leather. And this is going to soften and,
Yes,
and blend to your
absolutely.
foot.
Absolutely.
That's a better way of doing it.
Yeah, that's what I like.
What's our next station?
Next station after we sew the uppers, what we usually
Eyelets.
do, eyelets.
Eye-
This is the amazing machine. It's a very old Italian machine. It saved me a lot of time and hand breaking because before I started, I didn't have that machine, everything by the hand.
So how would the process be? You had to do these by hand before
I
the
usually
machine.
have a marker, do some mark, after I do
And punch.
punching. Yeah.
Tedious. And
Yes.
just when you get done, you have to do it one more time.
Yes, that's
On
right.
2 boots.
That's right. Smiling and move forward.
Oh. So you
Here-
even scratch this up so the glue adheres better.
Absolutely.
That's a
Yes.
small detail.
Small detail, but very important.
Yeah.
Now, everything should be also over there. See, doesn't have a glue. That means also it's breathable.
And it slides.
Yes. Yes.
That's a nice detail.
Well, you
That's
should
pretty
be a
thick.
great student. You learn very fast.
Well, I've always wanted to do this.
Maybe we can
I come on the weekends. You show me how to
together
build
we
boots.
can build a pair of boots.
These kids, they break everything.
That's a new generation.
I know.
They don't fix.
I know.
Do you
I
know
have
we
an
are fixers?
I have an 18-year-old. I know all about it. Well, that doesn't save any time at all.
Oh boy, that's a big saver.
Amazing. Look at that. Those aren't coming out.
That stayed pretty good.
That stayed in there. We're going to head up to the third station. What are we going to be doing on the third station?
See, after we put all the parts together, upper is sewed, all the eyelets and hooks put together, we need to go and start the last.
John, before we get started, I'm really interested in the vintage tools that you guys use. These are completely unique to your trade.
Oh,
This is not
boy.
something you're going to get at Home Depot.
Absolutely, you're right.
I was looking at some of these earlier, just from the roll mark on there. This is probably over 100 years old.
It's very old, and you know what? It's a very lovely, nice tools.
Beautiful tool.
You can do nothing without that tools.
Yeah, and this is
Yeah.
going to be used for the stretching.
Absolutely.
So do you know the origin of these, or where do they come from?
I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe it came from the French. Because
French.
the most of them best hammers, it's a French hammers.
And the
this one.
size and length of it is just evolved over hundreds of years to be the perfect shape.
Absolutely. I remember when I started, I bought my first French hammer. It's very, very important. It was very expensive, but same time, without tools, you cannot do nothing.
It's forged.
Yes. See, we start usually with the last.
This
I call
is the
this
last.
mold. Yeah,
So this is what the boot is built. This is heavy.
it's heavy.
It's gotta be-
solid. It's
last a long
solid,
time.
Yes.
And
And,
so
also,
for-
see, it's armed. See, this is the steel plate.
So you can nail it.
Every time the tag hit that plate, he turns clinched.
And that way it won't pull out.
It's gonna stay.
Clinching. So
Yeah.
the length of the nail is critical.
Very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
And so every single size, this is a 9E.
9E.
Every single size you need to last.
Absolutely.
Now, I've always worn custom boots. I have strange feet. Custom boots where I've had last made for me. Do you still do that?
Yes, we call this custom. If somebody need, we can build something. For example, let's say people have a narrow heel. We use this one, or somebody have a little bit wide, or some toe, or hammer toes, and this is the stock last. We can build the parts depending on the custom. what
So
the
if you have
customer
someone that had
required.
like a deformity in his foot or a strange thing, you'd build this out with
yes,
like leather,
with the leather.
build it out, make an exact copy of his foot, and then you would keep that on stock. If he needs to order a second pair of boots, you would build
Absolutely,
around the
yes.
last. So only do
That's
it one
right.
time.
That's right.
Is it a great expense to build a custom last?
It takes time. It takes time
skill.
and skill, both together. Even I had a customer, he had some infection, and for some reason they chopped his foot, and he couldn't walk. And nobody didn't want to build boots for him. Do you know what? I grabbed that last, I cut it, I take a measurement, I cut the last exactly how it was, and I built him a boot.
the boot around
He
it.
came ordering another pair. He was so happy. You know, Cody, I cannot explain the feeling. If you make something, you build something for the people, for the person who make his life a lot more easier.
It's about the greatest thing you can do
I
next to
think-
saving someone's
I
life.
think in that business, not just this, but in the business, do you know what? I'm not looking just for the money to be rich, but most of them, I try to find some problem and solve the problem. And if you solve the people's problem, people are gonna look for you. You know, I think the great thing today, I don't know how to explain people to understand me. This one, I love what I'm doing. I solve the problem. People need really durable boots. Boots to rely. I try to build the best what I can. And if I solve your problem, we're gonna become friends.
My granddad said that if you're not in your boots, you're in your bed. And you should buy the best boots and the best mattress
Absolutely, absolutely.
you can. Yeah.
Okay, let's go again to the business building boots. See, this is it after we do about 9 iron insoles. See how solid is insoles.
Thick.
Insoles, it's oak tan leather.
And
And
no,
it's-
what type of leather?
Oak tan leather.
Okay, oak tanned.
Oak tan.
Okay.
See, the insoles like foundation. We're gonna attach all the parts to the insole. Insole gonna carry most of the weight.
It's the cornerstone of the boot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And also, it also is under a lot of stress, heat, sweat.
Heat, sweat, most of them sweat.
I've had poorly made boots where this was a fail point, where it started to come apart and delaminate.
Yeah, you can see somebody, we talk about cheap boots. If you buy most of them, it's carton.
Yeah.
It's paper. And after a while, it's coming apart.
Yeah.
They're even not rebuildable. They lose the shape. It's nothing to hold them together. Take a look. This is the bison. I love that leather. You can feel it.
I grabbed some of the bison over there earlier. It was super stretchy. Like that's something I didn't realize. I
It's
thought
soft.
bison was. I've heard it's very durable, but I thought it was going to be uncomfortable. But this is very pliable.
The most comfortable. All the customers, they really love them.
It's got to be difficult to cut with
Very-
all of the
very hard,
patterns because
very hard.
this would hide a lot
You're
of
right,
defects,
you're
right?
Yes. We call these lasting pliers. It's old one.
Lasting pliers.
Yeah, very strong one. It's a Sweden.
Swedish.
Take a look on your boots. Do you feel this one?
Yeah. That's where that stiffness comes
yes,
in. And
yes.
that's a safety issue. You can
Big
get
time.
hurt right there.
You know, I had a guys who was working with the chainsaw, and they particularly thank me for that because that boot saved their foot. Okay, let's go. Very important also to put the right way. If you can see the
It's
pointing.
got a chisel cut on it.
Yes, that's supposed to be always in.
So every detail matters.
It so matters because after we're gonna do that way, start hitting. See, these things pull the leather all together. Same thing.
I didn't think you were going to get that wrinkle out of there. Now,
see?
when you put these in your mouth, are you, with your tongue, are you orienting the staple or the nail
Sometimes.
to tell what direction it is when you pull it out?
most of the time.
After a lifetime of this, you must have incredibly strong hands.
You know, you can see my hands. They still in the blisters, and yeah, they're not pretty, but very strong. Most of the time, I have to work with my hands.
Grip strength.
That's right. Sometimes if I shake this, somebody say, hey, be careful.
Be careful.
I don't do this on purpose because most of the time I work with my hands. Yeah. After that, see, we have a little bit extra leather, what we pulled over there. We're gonna go and cut that. Take a look at it. See, it's straight. The counter, see, pay attention, the counter is the straight.
Yes. Yeah, everything.
Yeah,
Goodness, that is beautiful. This is nice leather.
very good leather.
Very nice leather.
Very thick,
beautiful.
and same time is a very nice leather.
I like that. Maybe you can mention to the folks why it's more. This is more durable.
Yes.
For a boot where you might be getting a lot of impact, or a fire boot, some guys prefer this. Why is it more durable? Can you explain that?
You mean
The rough side
rough
out
side
versus
instead of
smooth
smooth
side.
one.
Yeah.
See, the leather is made that way from the inside. It's usually sometimes firefighters have to go in a fire. Sometimes they spray the water. The water absorbs a little bit and really safe. Also, I don't have. Take a look over there. Do you see the scratching?
Yeah.
Take a look over there. Now take a look.
So it's like hair.
Absolutely. Yes.
what it's like.
Not gonna hurt. A lot more long-lasting and durable that way.
You can take a sharp knife within reason and lay it across the split side, and it will not cut. Sometimes where the smooth leather
Small thing, small scratch, it's noticeable.
and it
can
starts to
cut.
open
Yes,
up. So this
yes.
is, if you want a
lot more
durable boot, you want to go with the
Always,
rough out.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question I get a lot? Guys always say, Granddad always said the best way to break in boots is to go stand in water. Is that true?
I heard this one, but do you know, unfortunately, it's not true.
Why?
Because sometimes if you're gonna go in the water is gonna first gonna penetrate inside, all this stuff is gonna start rusting. You know what's better? Oiling. And bro, because the water, it's not so good for the leather.
It leaches out the oils.
Yes.
I've always thought, well, when it's on the animal, the fat and the oils being produced are constantly putting nutrients into the leather. Once it's removed, if you're in the water, it's washing out in the sun and all that. You have to put something back
Absolutely. And oil is the best one for the leather.
in. Oil. The
Oil.
Obenauf's oil, you like
You know,
that?
I love it. Have a lot of different one, Berg and another one. It's good, but I think, my opinion, Abonaf is the best. Yeah.
Another question that comes up all the time is how do I waterproof my leather boots? And I always tell guys, well, you can't. I mean,
Because it's a leather.
because it's leather and just the nature of the material, but you can go a long ways with, if you're within reason. If you're walking with snow, I mean, you're not wading through a creek, but if you're walking with snow or working in the fire where you have water around, Obanofs will prevent your feet from getting
Absolutely.
wet.
Yes, for most of the time, yes.
Can I ask you one last question?
You said last one before.
What? I got to take advantage of this.
Okay.
Leather laces or synthetic? What is best? and
Also
why?
depends on the condition you're gonna work. If you're a welder, see, I work most of the time inside, outside. I wear my synthetic one. They are a lot easier. But firefighters or people who work in a really hot heat, I probably recommend the leather one.
Okay. And welders.
And welders, yes,
Okay.
they do not burn.
Okay, John, where are you going to take us next? What are we going to be building?
See, I want to show another one. See, sometimes we do the two-tone leather. See, it's black and
Two-tone,
bison.
yep.
And after boots is elastic like that. See, we did the heel. From next part we call bottoming.
Bottoming.
Bottoming. Now we need to attach the bottom of the boots to that part what we have. See, remember, I trimmed around that area.
Yes.
I said I'm gonna leave some space for the shank.
The shank.
Yeah.
And always a leather shank. Why not
A
steel?
leather.
Why not steel?
Sometimes for different style of boots with low arch, we can use the steel because low arch and steel support really good. But for this one, for this our Super Duty, see we have a heel, we do this one and it's work like a spring. It's what really important. It's gonna absorb your weight, your shape, and it's gonna work
help
like
you.
spring up support.
Support
This
you.
is the one of the what's the benefit that boots they have a very great arch support. That's very important. That means distribute your weight evenly on all your foot. See,
It's the foundation.
absolutely. The boots who doesn't have this one, after a while, let's say in the morning, your arch kind of, the muscles is strong, not stretched, but after 3, 4, 5 walking, putting weight on your muscles, they're gonna overstretch. And now see, all the weight is gonna be pointed over there. That's why people, after a while, they have like a burn on the back and their heels. But see, what's gonna be arch support? Distribute your weight evenly on the whole foot.
I would imagine that getting this right is the most difficult part
Very,
of the boot.
very important.
Is that true?
True.
Yeah.
Remember, talk before the small things.
The small
The
things.
small things is very important. Let me show you. What's really important, that part to be, if you're gonna go too much forward, that you're gonna feel that pressure around your toes. To back, you're gonna feel the pressure on your heel. It's supposed to be real. You need to find that spot. Do you see? To find
Yeah.
that low spot like that.
You know it when you feel it, right?
That's right.
And
See?
this is
Make-
bridging the gap here.
Yes. After that, you put another coat of glue. See, this is the same thing. 12 to 14 ounce octane leather. We call this cover shank. Same for support. Put on the top.
And this is durable enough to protect the foot on a sharp object.
Yes.
A nail.
Now, keep in mind, we had a 12 9 iron insole plus 8 ounce that are support plus 14 ounce octane leather.
Thick.
Keep in mind, how thick. After that, we're gonna go 12 ounce octane leather. After that, we're gonna go another piece of outsole. All that material, it's married together for support.
Strong.
Very strong. Very strong.
You practically stand on a nail with that.
Sometimes people complain after they have a new boots. They said they feel like they stand in a leather. But that's why. Be patient. I will say every customer, if I can, where's the camera? I can say them, be patient. Allow it for a couple weeks your weight to work with the boots. You're gonna walk, and now the boots, the leather, is gonna absorb everything. It's gonna form like your arch. You're gonna have a great arch.
And that's
support.
the beauty of the natural materials. Rather than your foot forming to
Absolutely,
a boot,
yes.
the boot is going to form
Forming your
to
foot.
you, but it takes some time.
Take some
Be
time.
patient.
Yes. Glue, sometimes I check like that to the money. I already
heat.
feel the heat. Yeah. That's gonna be. It's old way.
This is hard to automate. I don't know the robot can do that.
That's why it's handmade boots.
Handmade boots.
That's why it takes time. So we go over there.
Now have you a little bit of margin for error with there, right? But you have to be pretty close,
Pretty close.
setting that because you have a little bit of trim.
Yes. See, after that, I put in the stand, have a strap. Sometimes I want to take the shape, I do my
That,
strap,
and then the spring.
and spring hold this one.
Yeah.
After that, I grab the big hammer. It's very important to stick all around. Now remember that shank, we need to find where's the shank. Do you see how it's thick?
Yeah.
And show the shape.
You can see it starting to come up through there.
Absolutely. You can see the shape of the shank. After that's what really important now, we're gonna start finally bottoming. See, this is the 6/8.
Now these have
Fiber.
a point.
Same
no,
thing.
No chisel on these?
They're a little bit different. Chisels not gonna go because this is very thick material.
And the spacing looks like every 3/4 of an inch
Every
or so?
3/4, let's say 5/8. Because if you're gonna go too many, no needs, they might start rusting. But about, let's say 5/8 to 3/4 is the best.
Now I'm understanding why you shouldn't soak your boots in water for a long time.
I told you,
It's going to weaken
they're gonna
these
weaken.
areas.
Sometimes if people doesn't take care, they wet. After a while, the insoles is rotten, rust, wet,
Nasty.
nasty stuff. It just rotten and destroy the leather.
Well, that puts an end to that question. What about isopropyl alcohol? Some people spray isopropyl alcohol on boots. What do you think about that?
Actually, if somebody needs, I probably recommend alcohol. See, alcohol is a very short period.
It's an emergency.
Yes, in emergency, and alcohol doesn't have water. It's alcohol.
So it gets into the cells.
Yes, very to the cells. Even doesn't penetrate inside one. But after that, I would recommend to oil it.
An
Because
emergency, because it will dry out the
dry
leather.
out the
Oils.
Oil. Yes.
Yeah. Why do West Coast logging boots have such a strong, pronounced heel?
You know what? Because that heel allows the boots to work like a spring. Like I already showed before until how the arch support work. Because of that heel, distribute your weight evenly. And the heel actually allowed you to balance your knee, your back, and not everybody. For somebody, low heel is a lot better. Depends of the arch. Somebody have a flat foot. For the flat foot, I probably would not recommend.
No
the
heel for a flat foot?
Yes. Yeah.
If I was a boot maker, I'd be very interested in taking boots apart to see what's going on.
They know they had that too. We cut the boots. We grab the boots from the shelf. We cut it to show what's inside. Most of the people buy the boots. That company. We're not going to name the company. That company. They look pretty much the same. But what's important? What's inside?
The details.
Details. Take a look. See, that's all
Tight. Yeah,
Let
because
me-
this is very thick leather. It takes a lot to pull it into where
Yes.
it needs to be.
Yeah. But see, it's absorbed the shape of the last.
Yeah, completely. Look at that.
That's the arch support.
Yeah.
Now, see, the arch support here is going to work like a spring.
This
To
is
really
under
support-
tension.
Yes, yes, yes.
I didn't realize that. After 8-10 hours in a boot, that's going to make a big difference.
Big difference.
Fatigue.
Yes. See, have a big spring over there.
How would you have done that before in the old days?
In the old days,
you hammer?
we use this one. If we have like a special tool, like I showed this French hammer mill. One side was smooth and the other one was like a,
pound it
yes,
in there.
and it just push, stretch, push and stretch. It's really hard.
I'll bet.
That's why the hands of the shoemakers are really strong.
So don't arm wrestle a shoemaker. Are you saying?
I don't know. You're
So that
probably
does a
right.
nice job, doesn't it?
Take a look.
Look at that.
It's all around.
Beautiful.
See how the shape is.
Perfect.
That means we say precise to the last. No extra material, no,
Nothing there.
no air, nothing here. See how tight is it? All around.
Yeah.
See,
Amazing.
the customer do not see that. After I'm gonna pull the last, you can see. I'm not see different, but it's very important. See, every piece of leather is stretching, bitten. Now, if you're gonna wear it, not gonna overstretch.
Now I can see why the importance of the orientation of the vamp.
Yes.
When you're pulling, you need to have. That's why it needs to be done the right
yes.
way.
Yes.
All that matters.
Very.
I would say that the person cutting the leather is a very important.
I would say probably
here.
one of the most important.
Yeah, and stitching.
In stitching. Now we need to go and trim.
And just by eye.
This I already trimmed a lot of boots.
See, the stakes go up higher and higher at each station because there's more invested in the boot.
You're right.
This is the scariest machine in the shop. That's what this is. This is no joke. You
They
probably
know-
don't turn loose anyone on this, right?
Yeah, you're right.
No apprentice?
You know, I had a, I can say friend. He worked for a long time for a different company. And he was a really old guy, very nice guy. And he showed me and teach me a lot. His name was Bob Hammond. He teach me a lot of that machine. You can see that machine.
Look at that.
It's a great one, great one. A lot of parts moving all together. See, from the bottom, it's go all, it's curve. Make a hole. After the hole is made, on the top came the needle. See,
Look at
grab
the needle.
grab that thread, it pull together, and he can stitch the thickness almost an inch, 7/8.
An inch of leather.
Okay, let's go.
I'm ready.
Let's see like this. Take a look how the parts moving. What's also important, I always stitch to the part when heel's gonna cover this one. And the end of the stitching always gonna be under the heel.
Under the heel.
Yeah,
Further protecting it.
for the protecting, yeah.
Look at that. I can't even imagine punching
See?
through an inch of leather.
See how tight is that?
Yeah.
It's really, really tight. It's holding very well.
Yeah.
After that, it's not ended. I'm gonna do another one, another row.
Two rows.
2 rows of stitching. And just continue. Now, it's saved, secured, and good to go.
2 rows.
2 rows of stitching.
That's not going anywhere.
No way.
And fun fact, when you see the red on the bottom, that would be a heat
Yes,
Approved
that's for firefighters.
for firefighters.
Yes.
After the stitching, what is our next step? We've got to be
Next
the,
step
the
after
heel.
the stitching is the heel.
One of my subscribers asked me to ask you, what do you think of the fake plastic heel stacks?
Do you know,
You can be honest.
I want to be honest.
They're terrible.
The plastic is a terrible.
Yes.
You know what's important? After, let's say after years or 2 years, people gonna need a new heel because most of them worn out the heel cap. And the plastic, you cannot do this one. With the leather, you can do whatever you want. If you want, you can raise, you can resand, you can flatten it, but not with the plastic.
Throw it away.
Throw it most of the time.
Throw the shoe
also,
away.
Imagine to go in a fire with the plastic.
So this will be the final stage of the boot, of
Yeah.
doing and sanding the heel.
Take a look, it's very important. Do not ruin the cut, not oversand it. I take,
Just come to the
I
point.
barely cut this one and stop.
I can see with all of these processes, if you got the wrong type of person that was too detail oriented, they could get to the point where they would never be good enough.
You're right, you're right.
Do you ever run into that? where,
Yes, yes,
Like you
yes.
get to a point where it's like you got to stop.
Absolutely, you got to stop with this.
You gotta stop.
Because with the leather, endless.
It make
you
you
can do a
crazy.
lot of stuff. You're right.
There it is. 5 steps.
Absolutely.
Easy,
Yeah.
easy, huh? No, no
It
big
looks
deal.
so easy.
So easy.
But you know what? If you love that stuff, it's enjoyable.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. This
My
was
pleasure.
one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. Maybe if I have, after I retire, I'll come and learn to make boots with you.
You know that's gonna be fun. That's enjoyable.
That is beautiful. Thank you very much, John.
pleasure.
Just one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. The best part now is I'm going to go over with the guys, and you guys are going to measure me for my first pair of JK boots. Can you help me pick out the boot?
Do you know?
What's the best
maybe
boot for me?
It's really hard for me to help you because you make your decision. First one depends what you're gonna do. I'm gonna build a pair of boots for you for what? For firefighting, hardworking, farming, or just going maybe out for support. Depends. You need to make your own decision.
I would like to have a boot that was a good all-around boot that could be worn with jeans to go out to eat, or maybe put on to go do firewood, but not. I don't want anything too heavy. I have fire boots. I don't wear them because they're just too stiff and too heavy. I want something that's flexible, athletic, and comfortable. More like a tennis shoe, but looks cool like a fire boot.
You know what? I probably recommend to do a bison. Let's see, like this one. Not 10 inches. Because 6, 8, but
Not 10.
see, take a very nice looking boots, nice leather, so soft, and you know what? You're just gonna love it.
The bison.
Bison.
Upper and lower?
Yes.
And what color? Bison all the same color?
Bison came as same color, brown. But if you wanna, you can do different lower. If you want a two-tone boots, but personally, I would recommend to do a brown. It's good for any type of pants. Yeah, see, we already have a black one, but brown. It's good for jeans, dress pants, casual. Depends. Pretty much fit any needs.
All right. Well, I'm going to go over with the guys. And
No, make your own decision.
I will.
Me. I don't want to push you.
I'm considering.
I don't want to push you.
But I do like this. I imagine that flexibility would be really comfortable.
Yes, very comfortable.
All right. Well, thank you so much, John. Thank
My
you for your
pleasure.
time and opening up your business and sharing your family. This was a great blessing to be here, and I'm very excited to see you guys are maintaining this tradition. There's very few things that are still handmade, and
Yeah.
it's important to keep that alive, because if you were to take that to the grave, it would be lost.
No, I don't. You know, I have sons. They work with me. It's a big blessing. I pretty much pass everything on them.
Yeah.
Now, most of the time, I just do some inspection, see how this working, maybe give some advice, some adjustments. That's pretty much.
Oh, you've earned it.
Thank you very
You've earned
much.
it.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you very much. We asked John to bring us back here into the dark corner of the shop. These are the reserve stitching machines that are no longer made, that you guys keep on hand for if and when you need them.
You know, Cody, for somebody that's maybe some old machine, for me that's worth gold.
Worth gold.
I
More than
depend on
gold.
that machine, yeah. I love them. They work really good, and see, they kind of like a reserve.
You see
Anytime
that?
I need,
You come
they
and get
put-
one.
yes,
and there's
put in the line.
in parts.
even I have some for the parts.
So do you know how to take it apart and put it back
Yes,
together?
yes,
Everything?
yes,
No
yes,
problem.
No problem.
Amazing. So if I see one of those at a garage sale, I'll pick it up, bring it over to
At
you.
least let me know.
Let you know. Okay. Thanks, John.
My pleasure.